Good morning, class. How's everyone doing?
Good.
We have a lot of things to cover in class today, but before we begin, let me take attendance. Lee Smith?
Here.
Nicole Harrison?
Present.
Simon Johnson? Simon Johnson? Does anyone know where Simon is?
Well, I heard through the grapevine he's catching some Z's.
You heard something from a grapevine. Gravestone talk.
Come on, you're the teacher. You should know what that means.
What? I don't know everything. You guys just trying to embarrass me, right? 莫名其妙.
You know what that means.
He's talking.
In this scene, the ITA reacted without thinking and let the situation overwhelm him. Let's take another look at how the situation could have been handled differently.
Good morning, class. How's everyone doing?
Good.
We have a lot of things to cover in class today, but before we begin, let me take attendance. Lee Smith?
Here.
Nicole Harrison?
Present.
Simon Johnson? Simon Johnson? Does anyone know where Simon is?
Well, I heard through the grapevine he's catching some Z's.
You heard something from a grapevine. How's that possible?
I don't really mean I heard something through a grapevine. It's just an expression.
Okay, can you explain that further?
My friend told me he sleeps a lot because he stays out late.
He only comes to class once in a blue moon anyway.
Whoa, slow down. You guys are really confusing me.
Well, what I mean is that he rarely ever comes to class.
He's probably sleeping right now.
Ah, okay, now I understand. Thank you for explaining it to me.
The idiomatic expressions that we discussed in these two scenes were, I heard it through the grapevine, to hear a piece of information from someone that may have heard that information from someone else, catching some Z's, which means catching up on some sleep, and once in a blue moon, which means once in a while, not that often, seldom. In our calendar year, we usually have one full moon each month. Occasionally, we have a second full moon within that same month. We refer to this as the blue moon. It doesn't happen often. The ITA cannot be expected to be familiar with the vast amount of idiomatic expressions that we have in the American vernacular. It is nothing to be embarrassed about. But do not let it go. Have the student explain any expression that you do not understand before going on any further with the lesson. If you don't, you may lose control of the class.
We have been discussing the impact of the global media with respect to stereotyping women in Muslim society.
Man, I thought I understood this stuff, and then you go and throw this curveball at us.
Yeah, it's like it's out of left field.
Excuse me, are you speaking English right now?
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I would appreciate it if you didn't talk about baseball in the middle of my lesson. It is disruptive to the rest of the class.
We're not talking about baseball.
I don't even like baseball.
Well, I hear you discussing throwing ball into left field. What else could you possibly be talking about? It has nothing to do with the lesson.
We don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, and we definitely aren't talking about baseball.
But
This was an inappropriate way to handle the situation and demonstrates how a simple misunderstanding of an idiomatic expression can lead to a big problem between the teacher and his students. Let's take a look at how the ITA could have handled the situation, avoiding any confrontation.
We have been discussing the impact of the global media with respect to stereotyping women in Muslim society.
Man, I thought I understood this stuff, and then you go and throw this curveball at us.
Yeah, it's like it's out of left field.
Maybe you can tell me what those expressions mean, or you can tell me what you mean using some other words I might better understand.
Well, it's just that you're confusing us.
Okay, then, let's go over it again. Thank you for rephrasing your comment.
I guess we forgot that not everyone's familiar with these expressions.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Not a problem. Actually, why don't you both come up and write the expressions on the board to better explain what they mean? This will give you the chance to be the teacher. It would be more helpful to see these expressions visually to better understand them.
To throw a curveball at us means to cause someone to be surprised or to be misled.
Out of left field means to be confused.
As you can see, neither of these expressions have anything to do with baseball.
It really helps to be able to see what you were saying to me and hear an explanation of the phrase. Please be seated.
Very well handled. The ITA kept the focus on the lesson and not on the idiomatic expression. This solution showed good communication and respect between all parties involved. The incorporation of the student teaching the ITA was a great strategy to use in the classroom. As ITAs, there will be many times that you do not understand what your students are saying. It is important to remember your goal of teaching the lesson and not to let any language barriers decrease your level of confidence in front of the class. As long as you maintain control of the class, your students will look up to you. Let me leave you with one more idiomatic expression that you can look up the meaning for on your own. Never let them see you sweat.